Hello and welcome to Thomas Geiger Car. Today with a very special, unique BMW, the Concept Touring Coupé. It has just been revealed at the Villa d'Este on the shores of Lake Como, the most prestigious classic car event in Europe. And since BMW is hosting this event, they're paying tribute to elegance, the style and the pleasure of driving with this unique show car. If you want to know what this is all about and what the perspectives of this vehicle are, join me on my first walk around and I'll tell you more about it. This car emphasizes the pleasure of driving over a weekend. So it's a tourer that you take when you go for a spin with your loved one, but most probably in the mountains like here at Lake Como. So this car is pure driving pleasure, BMW home turf, and it is for traveling. So it's useful, it's versatile, it has a huge trunk. The idea is not new, not even to BMW. It kind of looks back to the 328 in the years after the war. It looks back to the 2002 Ti in the 70s, and most recently to the Z3 Coupe, the sports shoe as it was called, that was launched when the Z3 came up for 25 years ago, roughly. So this time again, it's the Roadster as the base model. It's a Z4 that was handcrafted to a coupe. All Italian coach building, made in Milan, in Turin, in Modena. So lots of craftsmanship and a very, very elegant look. Good thing is, since the base model and the platform is a car that is available on the market, the hopes this car could go at least in a limited series are not zero. Usually it's the front of the car that has to catch your eye for the first moment. In this case, it's the other way around because the back is the beauty side of this BMW. The front is also a bit individualized. We have a different grille reminding us on the 328. We have a special coating all over. It's called Lario, which is the Latin name of the Lake Como, so another reference to northern Italy, but the back is the beauty of the car. And it's handcrafted. It's sheet metal that was hammered over wood to get into the right form. That's like they did it in the 50s, 60s, when Ferrari, when Alfa Romeo and Maserati became big artful cars. And BMW has adopted that technology, has looked for the old suppliers, for the old craftsmen to build that. And since the car has to be versatile, not only beautiful but useful, and has to bring you over a nice weekend with your loved ones, it has a huge trunk. Not a huge trunk if you compare it with a 3 Series Touring, but if you compare it with a Z4, it is really a big compartment for 4 pieces of luggage, and this luggage is also handcrafted, matching the vehicle. If you look into the trunk, it's beautiful. It's not functional. It is very beautiful, another piece of art. It's layered with leather, it's got an ambient lighting. You don't want to put buckets of painting or something like that inside, but beautiful luggage, the best thing. And if you close the lid and look underneath, there's another detail worth a bit of attention. Some exhaust pipes. Nothing new here at the Villa d'Este, where we all have classic cars and electromobility isn't a topic at all. But for a design concept car that is usually looking towards the future, it's quite amazing that they still stick to a petrol engine. And this petrol engine is pretty powerful. It's based on the Z4 M40i, so we're talking about 345 horsepower and lots of sheer driving pleasure. But since this car is not only about power, but also about luxury and style, it's worth taking a look into the interior. Why don't you join me and let's see what they did inside. Once we enter the vehicle, we need to be very, very careful because it is a one-off, it is a handcrafted piece of art and not a manufactured automobile. But sitting in here, it feels pretty familiar. It is the layout of a Z4. What totally changed is color and trim. There has never been a BMW in that segment as luxurious, as prestigious as this car. The leather, for example, is supplied by Poltrona Frau, one of the most famous furniture suppliers in Italy. It's hand-stitched and it has this wonderful stitching around here that reminds me on a baseball glove. Yes, we've seen that before at another coupe from southern Germany, Maybe you remember 25 years ago Audi launched the TT with a similar design. Here it's just handmade, a little more luxurious, a little bit more prestigious. Another example for the attention to detail is the floor mat. This is leather. Usually you're sitting on rubber, or if you go to a sports car it might be carbon. But in this case it's really leather. You better take off your shoes once you enter the vehicle, otherwise you might scratch it. Another detail, even the key. Yes, it's the standard BMW key, but it has a fitting with the original leather. Another point where you can see the attention to detail is when you look at the graphics on the screen. Not only the interior has been changed, no, also the digital artists provided their skills to make this a holistic piece of art. So once you look at the screen, you don't see the silhouette of a Z4, no, you see the beautiful silhouette of the concept car. You can see the beauty from the outside even when you're inside the vehicle. The only thing that is missing, at least from my experience, is the driving. Yes, it is a fully functional concept car since it's based on a Z4, but I'm not allowed to drive, and I doubt that anybody else would soon be allowed to drive the vehicle. But let's see, and let's keep our fingers crossed. Thank you for joining me on that first walk around with the BMW Concept Touring Coupé, a car of stunning beauty and wonderful details, and a car I hope could make it in production. It would make much sense to build this car as a serial model because the roadster segment is dying and there is some production capacity to fill at BMW's supplier at Magna. So this could be an easy change and an easy addition to the lineup. Nobody at BMW is giving you any answers if you ask them that, and it's all, let's see how public reacts. But if they ask me, I would build it in production. I would rather love to see it on the road instead of the concept car lawn in Pebble Beach or here at the show car display in the next years. And I really would love to open that door again, to get behind the wheel and to drive the mountain roads around Lake Como. So thank you, Shishye, Sai Chen, and goodbye.